Hi guys, I'm Ryan Newsman and welcome to my fly tying channel. If you haven't already done so, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. That'll keep you up to date with everything as I upload it. My channel already contains hundreds of videos covering a wide range of both patterns and techniques, from the basic to the more advanced. So without delay, let's get on with the show. So guys, tonight I'm going to tie probably one of the most famous of all nymph patterns, and that's the gold-ribbed hare's ear nymph, or GRHE as it may be known. You can weight it or unweight it, depends on what you want. I'm going to add a little bit of lead wire here, so I'm just going to take a fine lead wire. This is a size 14 hook, and I'll put on about 5 turns or so of lead wire at the thorax. Then I'll add a little bit of super glue to that, and then start my tying thread. Now I'm using a black tying thread. This one happens to be a Textreme 80. Wrap that in while that's still wet. Back over it and snap it off. And that gives us our sort of nymph shape in a way, you know, a little bit thicker at the thorax, thin at the back. So, fairly simple fly. The tail and thorax cover are going to be made out of cock pheasant tail fibers. So take off maybe 6 or 8 fibers. Take our tying thread down until it's level, if you let it hang level with the barb of the hook roughly, and put on a couple of turns. Now you might say this is too long. It is. So we then take this end and pull it to the length that suits our own eye. So that could be very short and stubby, or it could be anything up to 3/4 or the full length of a hook shank. And then I will take this forward across the top of the hook and leave it there at about 2/3 to 3/4 the way along the length of the hook. So if you're using a longer shank hook than this, then you'd probably go 3/4 the length. So name of the fly is a gold-ribbed hare's ear, so we're going to use a gold rib. So this is a medium oval gold. So tie that in here where our thread has gotten to, and then wrap it backwards, back to where we tied off the tail. Then I'm going to varnish my thread. Sorry, not varnish it, wax it. And then I'm going to take my hare's ear dubbing. And now what I've done here is this is a mix of hare's mask and hare's ear, because the hare's ear tends to be very, very spiky, whereas the face part of it has more under fur in it, and this makes it much easier to dub. So we'll just spin that on and then wrap forward, creating a sort of little bit of a taper as we go on. We wrap that up till we're just behind our tie-in point, then move to the front of it, and then we will rib the fly with the gold oval tinsel. Usually 4 to 5 turns is what you achieve on a body. I'll then take a couple of turns to the front of this, and we're going to tie over this. It's never going to be seen, but it will help to make it more secure of a tie-in. Trim that off. Go back to our wax again. Wax the thread to make it sticky. We'll take the exact same dubbing, and I'm just going to dab on the dubbing to that, so you can see it's sort of sticking out all fuzzy. take off whatever excess is there we don't want. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my bobbin holder here and I'm going to spin it. So I'm just going to let it hang and spin. It'll trap some of the fibers as it's spinning here, and it'll create almost like a little fake hackle or dubbing loop kind of idea or effect. And then we'll just wrap that on as though. Actually, you can see that there are fibers sort of sticking out. I'll stroke those back. They'll give the impression of, I suppose, legs or peelers or breathers or whatever happen to be on nymphs. We'll then take this, what remained of our cock pheasant, and pull it forward. Take a wrap across it to hold it in place. One tighter one, that'll secure it. If you want, you can cut that off straight now, but I tend to fold things back on themselves and then tie over it. So a few turns on it will create a decent, neat head for us. Pull this up, trim it off, and then it's time to finish the head. So we'll just put on a couple of half hitches. You can use a whip finishing tool if you want. It's just something I've never personally got into. I always put on several individual half hitches, whether they're singles or multiples, because if one gives, at least there's always one behind it to keep it together. And then all that remains now is to finish our fly with a touch of varnish or head cement or whatever you're going to use. So I'm taking my dubbing needle here, a little bit of varnish on that. Varnish the head. So if there are any fibers you don't like, just snip them out or tweak them out with tweezers or whatever suits yourself. But this is the simplest, I suppose, version of the hare's ear, gold ribbed hare's ear I can come up with. So there we go. Very effective general purpose nymph fly, the gold ribbed hare's ear nymph. So if you like what you've seen tonight, like, subscribe, tell your friends, check out all the other videos that I have on my channel. There's something there to suit almost everybody. And until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.